Hello and good morning.
Good morning and welcome to the Unity Church of the Hills live stream on Sunday morning. We're so grateful you're here with us live or semi-live. We're coming to you from our living room. And wherever you are, let us know. Connect with us in the comments. Let us know where you are this morning, where you're watching us from, and maybe let us know what's up for you for the new year, what your resolution, those old resolutions, or what your goals might be for the new year. We are certainly looking forward to letting 2020 go and embracing 2021 into our lives.
Yeah, and January 3rd is actually our Whitestone service, so now might be a great time to start thinking about how Spirit is nudging you with that one word. So if you have a word, you could place that in the comments, kind of what you're hoping your word for 2021 is going to be.
Oh, you know what? My word, I thought it was so simple, Tammy. Remember last year, my word was peace.
How perfect was that for 2020? Mine was hallelujah. Yeah, what was your word for 2020? It's another thing you could let us know. We're grateful that you guys are here. If you are new to Unity Church of the Hills, welcome. We are a positive path for spiritual living. And if you'd like to learn more about Unity or Unity Church of the Hills, just type the word connect and one of our virtual ambassadors will reach out with you.
You know, our sharing is caring continues. And this week we are supporting Casa Marianella. So let me tell you a little bit about these guys. Casa Marianella welcomes displaced immigrants and promotes self-sufficiency by providing shelter and support services. This is very important right now. Their vision is that all immigrants arriving in Austin will have safe housing and access to the services they need to be successful, and we certainly want them to have that.
Absolutely. And so if that speaks to your heart, or you just want to let somebody know about today's service, just share the service, and while we are live, every share will donate $5. That's Sam, by the way. We'll donate $5 to this amazing organization. How about we go ahead and get started with today's service? Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.
I woke up today with a smile on my face. Sounds like a song I wrote yesterday. I feel that way again. I'm feeling real good again. Like a good umbrella on a rainy day, or a road trip riding on a full tank. I feel real good again. I'm feeling real good again. And everything will be okay, 'cause all my blues are gone away. So I just gotta sing the happy song, singing all day long. When the sun is gone, I'm still happy to the brand new dawn. My song, singing all day long. And maybe I will see the rain, but happiness is here today. So won't you help me sing the happy song? I can see the sun and it's shining bright, so bright, I gotta say that twice. I can see the sun and it's shining bright. I can see the sun and it's shining bright. And everything will be okay, 'cause all my blues are gone away. So I just gotta sing the happy song, singing all day long. When the sun is gone, I'm still happy to the brand new dawn. My song, singing all day long. And maybe I will see the rain, but happiness is here today. So won't you help me sing the happy song? Now everybody clap your hands, and everybody do your dance. Though we can't see your head, joy comes in the morning. So clap your hands and do your dance. And sometimes we mourn, but I found joy in a happy song. This is my happy song, singing all day long. When the sun is gone, I'm still happy to the brand new dawn. My song, singing all day long. And maybe I will see the rain, but happiness is here today. So won't you help me sing the happy song? La da 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 da, la da 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 da.
Good morning and happy for the Sunday after Christmas Day. Welcome to Unity Church of the Hills. It's a very strange day here for me because it's my first Sunday in the building with no audience to speak of. We've got our sound team, our tech team, our production team, and Jennifer live on Facebook. So I need to know that you're there. So we would really love to know. In the opening pre-service, Tammy asked, type in the comments what your word of the year was. And so I'm needing the engagement today, so humor me, if you will. My name is Reverend Eliza Bloom Robinson, and I am your bridge interim minister, which means I am here for a short period of time while Unity Church of the Hills is in their search for their next right and perfect spiritual leader, ministers. So I'm very happy and honored to be here at this time. We want to take a moment and welcome you if you are on Facebook, if you are on YouTube, if you are on our website. We're so glad that you're here with us. Again, let us know that you're watching. That really helps us out a lot. And we also want to do a special shout out if you happen to be here for the first time. We welcome first-time visitors, and if you'd like to know more about Unity or Unity Church of the Hills, just type the word connect into the chat and we'll reach out and connect with you. Unity is a positive path for spiritual awareness, for love, for kindness, for compassion, and we welcome you. Anybody, wherever you are in your spiritual path, we welcome you here. So we'll meet you where you are, and we invite you to join us in our positive path. We have prayer chaplains. Unity is founded on prayer, so we have prayer chaplains on duty, prayer chaplains holding sacred space for this service, and also here to pray with you. The way you access a prayer chaplain is by dialing the phone number that is on your screen. It will also be in the chat. And leave your name and your phone number, and a prayer chaplain will call you back. So we really invite you and encourage you to reach out to a prayer chaplain. If you have a need, if you're struggling, or if you have a celebration, they're here to pray with you. Our youth and family, we want to take a moment to just acknowledge them. They are the future of our world and our ministry. And so we had a beautiful family service on Christmas Eve. If you haven't seen that, you can find it on YouTube or scroll down underneath the recordings or in the recordings on our Facebook page. We've got from the littlest ones up through the teenagers. So we just want to take a moment in time to just recognize them, to honor them, to appreciate them, to behold the Christ in them, and not only the kids, all of the teachers and the parents as well. If you want to find out more about Unity Kids and Youth Program, you can do that on our website, unityhills.org. Our vision for our future is this. Let's join together in affirming it. We are an ever-expanding community of love and acceptance where lives are transformed. And so we open ourselves to that vision. Will you join me in an opening prayer? Feeling the possibility of lives transformed. Feeling the possibility of an ever-expanding consciousness of love, of peace, of compassion. We open ourselves to the conscious awareness of that power we call God that is within us, is us, and so much greater than us. We invite you to open your hearts, to open your minds, and to sink in to this now moment as we begin our celebration service. We ask God's blessing on each and every one of you. We ask that you be blessed and in return bless the world. So in gratitude, we say thank you, God, and so it is. Amen.
Good morning, everyone. This week's Sharing is Caring benefits Casa Marianella. For every share of the service while we are live, we'll donate $5 to this organization. Now, our New Year's Eve World Healing Day meditation begins at 6 a.m. on Zoom. And we want to just thank Audrey and James for their willingness to lead that service. Then at 5:30 p.m., join us online for our live stream New Year's Eve Burning Bowl service filled with the power of simplicity, ritual, ceremony, and release. Artist and UCOH congregant Sharabella Feeney has created 2 extraordinary sets of angel wings on the pavilion wall of Unity Oaks. In addition to being beautiful, they are perfect photo opportunities. We want to thank Sharabella and let you know that we'll be running a photo op campaign in January with prizes. More details will be coming next week. The Way of A Course in Miracles 2, Undoing of Fear, begins on either Thursday, January 14th at 7:30 p.m. or Friday, January 15th at 10:30 a.m. The workshop is an in-depth 18-week study of A Course in Miracles, led by longtime course student and practitioner Jennifer Feiereisel, and is offered on a love offering basis on Zoom. Learn more and register today at unityhills.org. Together as a community, we will be embarking on an 8-week experiment called Prosperity Plus 3, Living Full Spectrum Wealth. This tithing program is designed to help you erase any old, unsuccessful patterns of living and create new patterns that reward you with more success and greater abundance. We have a video of globally renowned spiritual teacher Mary Morrissey, the creator of the popular Prosperity Plus programs. Mary will explain how, when you say yes to your authentic self and your dream, and take the actions outlined in this course, you can experience new heights of spiritual aliveness, wealth, and authentic success. Let's hear from Mary.
Hi, I'm Mary Morrissey, author of 2 best-selling books, No Less Than Greatness and Building Your Field of Dreams, which became a PBS special. I'm also the creator of the Prosperity Plus programs. I created Prosperity Plus so that we could gather together and do an experiment, and a 7-week experiment in living a life that's harmonious with the invisible laws that govern the visible results we call our own. These are ancient laws. They're invisible to our 5 senses, and yet they govern all the results that we call our own. Now, people all throughout millennia have studied how to experience greater freedom, greater flow. 5,000 years from Hinduism down through all of the different religious trainings and teachings, New Thought itself, science, psychology, discovering how can we live a life that we truly love living while we're living it. There are ways that we can partner with the infinite side of our nature. Prosperity Plus 3 is a dynamic tithing experiment with your life through proven, reliable, repeatable systems of transformation that actually engage the power in you through simple, highly effective tools each week that open your life to a greater experience of what I call full spectrum wealth. Where you don't just have wealth in one area and bankruptcy in another, where you're wealthy in money and have bankruptcy in relationships, or you're wealthy perhaps in health but not in relationships. You want a full spectrum wealth, a wealth that opens you up to a life you truly love living. And here, Prosperity Plus 3 is where you're going to engage in this experiment with these ancient laws through a simple, easy to practice way of being. Over the course of 7 weeks, you'll engage with other members of your community. You'll have a weekly class. There'll be a facilitator or one of your ministers who will lead you through it. It's actually a very fun experiment in living. And so this is your invitation to actually do an experiment, to actually have these next 7 weeks after the class begins become one of the most transformative eras of your life, and it'll be with you forever. You learn how to live from a vision, not just have a vision or have a dream, but actually the science of building that dream right into your results, how you harness and work with these invisible laws. You're going to study transformational material each week. It's very engaging. It's actually fun. And week by week, you'll be given simple but highly effective tools that you can employ that week. So Prosperity Plus members report all kinds of increases in their life, increases in their income, surprise support coming their way, new businesses, books get written, relationships get found, all kinds of surprise support. I highly encourage you to give yourself the gift of what your center or your church is offering you. Prosperity Plus 3 is a 7-week experiment in abundant living, and it includes all the support materials that come with the class. But most of all, just for a moment here, 7 weeks are going to come and go. But if you invest a little bit of time each week for 7 weeks, you'll look back on this being one of the best investments you've ever made in your growth, in your dreams, in your life. There is a pattern through which success occurs. It operates in harmony with the invisible laws that govern our results. And if you just keep breathing, you are going to have results. Not maybe, absolutely. But what will those results be? They'll occur either by default, the same pattern governing our lives, or they'll occur by design. And in Prosperity Plus 3, you're going to learn how to design your inner life with an outer life that you absolutely love living. Prosperity Plus 3 is created for the person who really wants to go deeper spiritually and then have a life that has greater, freer, fuller expression by means of the relationship with the infinite side of your nature. And I invite you to give yourself this gift and say yes to your community who is offering Prosperity Plus 3, an experiment in greater living.
So I know that Mary mentioned multiple times that it was a 7-week course, but Reverend Eliza has actually added in an 8th week, and she will be facilitating this course, which begins on Monday, January 18th, and you can register online at unityhills.org. Join licensed Unity teacher Anita Farrell and LUT candidate Sandra Vela for a 5-week study of Unity prayer beginning January 30th from 10 a.m. to noon via Zoom. The class can be taken for credit towards becoming a licensed Unity teacher. Register today at unityhills.org. And finally, just a quick note that the office will be closed between the week of Christmas and New Year's Day. The staff will return January 5th, ready for 2021. And now I invite you to settle in and relax as we move into a time of meditation. Just connect with your breath. And what if you could arrive into a space of utter nowness, fully present to this moment? The past and the future dissolve, and you are here, the wholeness of you, the allness of you, right here, right now. What would that feel like? And if you haven't already closed your outer eyes, I invite you to do so. As you take that sacred journey from your head to your heart, bringing your awareness into an expansive state of beingness. Let it be effortless. Breathing in and out of your heart space. Breathing in. Letting go. There are no nouns, no verbs, no adjectives, no adverbs. All language slips away into the state of total completeness, and nothing is left out of this unified field of now. The stillness of this state captivates you because it feels so totally familiar. It is the truth of what you are. And all possibility shimmers in a state of expectancy. You are both one with it and aware of it simultaneously. Observer and observed, unified. And so as we enter into a moment of quiet reflection, I invite you to listen to your heart. How is it calling you to emerge from this space? What is seeking to be birthed from the infinite possibility of you? Listen in the stillness. I invite you to stay in this state of oneness, this state of wholeness, even as you bring yourself back into the room you are in, wiggling your fingers and toes. This is the truth of you. Nothing but God here. And when you are ready, open your beautiful eyes.
Light of the world, shine on. Light of the world, shine on. Light of the world, helping us to find our way. Shine on, light of the world. Shine on, light of the world. Shine on, light of the world, helping us to find our way. Shine through me, light of the world. Shine through me, light of the world. Shine through me, light of the world, helping me to show the way. We are the light of the world. We are the light of the world. We are the light of the world, helping us to show the way. God's love is the light of the world. God's love is the light of the world. God's love is the light of the world, helping us to know the way. Helping us to know the way.
Beautiful. Thank you, Celebration. You guys are amazing. Wonderful. Shine on, helping us to know our way. So, our theme through this holiday season has been the holy pause, the power of simplicity. And today is the moment, this week really is the moment of that holy pause between the birth and the new year. It's that time, like if you were actually physically birthing a baby, it's that first few days you go home. And hopefully you're still and quiet and adjusting to a new normal because everything has changed. Everything has the potential of changing. And so we celebrate this, we got past Christmas. Anybody else feel like that in this very strange, complicated world? And then on Thursday, we'll do our burning bowl, and so we'll have a grand release, Power of Simplicity. That'll all be virtual online. And then the following Sunday, we're going to do our white stone, which is really receiving from this big open space. So today is about beginning to really hold that space open. So as you may know, and you're getting to know, I like to always start with a story or a joke. So it's the day after Christmas. There's a big church in San Francisco, and they've had this big outdoor creche and manger scene, and all of the characters that we talked about the last few times we've been talking about. And the pastor of that church got up Christmas morning and just stretched and Christmas Eve was fabulous. And he walked over to the church, which of course was right next door, and he went to gaze at the manger scene, and baby Jesus was gone. And he went, who stole baby Jesus? Who could do that? Unbelievable, somebody stole baby Jesus. And he's looking all around, he's like, what? Just befuddled. And he looks down the road, and there's a little boy pulling a wagon. He says, young man, what do you got there in the wagon? He goes, I got baby Jesus. He goes, where'd you get him? I got him at the church. Well, the pastor is about to what you might do. Why did you steal baby Jesus? But he caught himself. He said, why did you take baby Jesus? And the little boy, in all of his innocence, he said, well, I'll tell you. You see, about 2 weeks ago, I did a prayer to baby Jesus. I said, Jesus, if you bring me a red wagon for Christmas, I promise I'll take you for a ride. One of my favorite. I love this Sunday of the year, of all the year, because I can tell that story. It doesn't work so well other times of the year. But this is the moment where we can lay our hustle down, where we can choose to be done with the busyness. I know there's still lots to do. Look at the trees, the decorations. We have to take all this down. But I told the staff, I said, no. Well, number one, we're closed. We can't have any volunteers in. Our campus is closed. Our ministry is well open and alive and present. I said, let's leave it up. Let's take this pause. So we're going to still have Christmas decorations likely next week, which I personally love. So, but take a minute. Really take a minute. This was a super powerful year with our planet conjunctions, Jupiter and Saturn, with the COVID and just the crazy complicated world we had this year. Just take a breath, just with me now, right? 3 times. One more, deep inhale. Let the stress, the worry, the burden fall off your shoulders. Just drop it. Just shake it off, at least for the moment, at least for today. Let it go. Come on, guys. There you go. Now we're getting it. We were doing it as we were praying in this morning, too, before the service. And then open the space. Because the truth is, when you're busy and when you're hustling, when you're trying to get things done, when you're move, you don't take the time to create the space. So if you want to be super successful, embrace the concept that rest, recovery, rejuvenation are equally important to our doingness, because we're really moving into a place of being where our being is the most important. And when we land in our beingness, in the spaciousness of consciousness, then our doing comes more naturally, but it's a softer, gentler, maybe more focused doingness. It's the spaciousness, truly, that leads to a happy and successful life. So this is this auspicious, sweet, sweet, sweet time of the year. I want to create spaciousness in my words. I want you to feel the spaciousness in my words. I want you to feel the spaciousness in this moment. Don't rush. Don't rush to undecorate. Don't rush to put things away. Don't rush to get back to normal. Oh my gosh, do we want to get back to normal? Guess what? It's not going to happen. So give it up. Don't rush to get back to normal, but open up. Like, what is it? Some of the things I've been saying to the staff and the board is what is it that we've always done because we've always done it that we don't need to do anymore? I say it to you too. What is it that you spend your time doing and doing and doing that you've always done because you've always done it that you might not need to do anymore? Drop it. Let it go. Clear the space. And as we clear the space, especially in this solstice, this conjunction, the power of this is amazing. The power of the Star of Bethlehem, but the power of the conjunction. Jupiter represents like action and doing, and Saturn represents like wiping the slate clean and then starting anew. So it's so perfect for this year. It's so perfect that it came. You almost wonder if there was a bigger plan to all of this, or a bigger map of all of this, all of that we've walked through this year. Maybe so. But Saturn also represents, don't get up and do, do. Saturn represents taking a step back, realizing that the journey is equally important as the destination. So slow down. You move too fast. Gotta make the feeling last. Feeling groovy. That's really my husband's here in the room, so I'm waiting for him to pop up and sing, but we didn't mic him. Next time we will. Or we'll bring you right up. From Isaiah 7, it says, "And say unto him, take heed and be quiet." Take heed and be quiet. Now, slowing down, a lot of us, when we slow down, we like, lay out on the couch and binge on Netflix. Anybody? But being still is disengaging from the busyness of the mind, disengaging from the busyness of the outer world. It's about going within. And when you be still, then you can begin anew. When you be still, it's like wiping the slate clean. That's part of what we'll be doing on Thursday at the Burning Bowl, and then starting with a clean slate next Sunday on the White Stone. But for right now, it's about honoring the space between the birth and the new. Honoring the space. Honoring the space. Maya Angelou says, we delight in the beauty of the butterfly, but we rarely admit the changes it has gone through to achieve that beauty. This is a moment, a week, to reflect, to honor the changes. We have had nothing but change this year. From the first moment, it was talking to a friend. It's like, last year we were looking at, Facebook gives you a year ago today, right? So a year ago, we're like, yeah, it's going to be an awesome year. I can't wait. This is the year all of our dreams are coming true. This is going to be a smooth sailing year. That was not what it was for me. That is not what it was for so many of us. And yet, it was a year of like churning up, like everything was churned. Everything was shook. Everything was wobbled. But the truth is, you can't change anything until there's a wobble. Creation itself starts in chaos. We've been talking that this is the birth of the age of Aquarius. This is the birth of the fifth dimension. This is the birth of the Christ consciousness. This is the birth of a new humanity. It is already here and right now. And we have to choose it. Because there's really two, at least, dimensions of consciousness going on right now. We have the old, we have 2020, which could go on. I keep thinking I am staying up till midnight on the 31st because I want to make sure that calendar turns over. Anybody else? Right? I keep thinking of Groundhog Day, where remember the movie where he's like whatever that day is, that he has again and again and again and again and again, like the alarm clock goes off on January 1st, 2020 again, and January 1st, 2020 again. No, we don't want that. We want to catapult into 2021. And we want to use everything we learned and everything that was shook up and everything that we were challenged with and every place that we were stretched and wrung out and twisted and contorted. We want to use all of that to fully and completely step into 2021, to step into the new. But you still get to choose because you can continue to look at what is. You can continue to look at the pandemic and the economic things and the political things and the climate things, and you can continue to be tied up in knots about it. But there's a new consciousness that's already here, and this is beauty, and it is joy, and it's spaciousness. I've been playing for the last year and 3 or 4 months with what I call my global consciousness group, and we play all the time, every single week. And what we are playing with is we're playing in the quantum field. And we're playing in, I say playing because it's so much fun, but we're landing, like we're raising our consciousness and like peeking over the edge of what is to what is. And what we're discovering there is such beauty. It's innovation. It's creativity. It's collaboration. It's miraculous outcomes. It's expansive. It's joy-filled. It's how I have been able to navigate through some of the really tough stuffs in my life, the tough stuff in my life this year, because I have this consciousness that's holding me, that's lifting me, that when I crash and crumble, and I've done it a couple of times this year, well, probably more than twice, but 2 really significant times, it's just like I can't do it, but I can lean into this consciousness, and I'm lifted, and I'm reminded, just as our sign up on underneath the camera says, with God all things are possible, from Matthew 19. With God all things are possible, but not a God out here. Not a God sitting up in the sky picking and choosing who he's blessing. It's not that. That's still dualistic, but we're moving into oneness where we come to know that presence of God that is within us. But not only within us, because that still has a little dualistic feel to it, but is us. And when we land in this expanded place, when we land in the new humanity, when we land in this point of stillness, we find allness. And we find isness. Some of the language is hard to say because it's like the language that we have doesn't it doesn't express the feeling, the experience of it. But when you land in isness, like just go ahead and land in isness with me right now. You might be going, wait, what? Which, by the way, is my most favorite thing for my students to say to me. Wait, what? Like, it means you're grappling with your mind. It means you're getting out of your mind. You want to get out of your mind because the mind is 95% unconscious, and that 75% of the 95% that's unconscious is negative. But when you can drop the mind, when you can grapple with the mind, when you can expand, drop underneath, expand above, get out of your mind and into your heart, but even into the place of oneness, you find isness. So come over here with me, right? You can move or not move, but you go, okay, isness. This life is tough. I don't like this and that, and I'm worried about this and that and that and that and that and that, right? 2020, But drop it. Just drop it. Pivot. Take 3 or 4 or 5 steps and come land in isness. It's not outside of you. It's a consciousness that is within you. So drop into your beingness, into that point of stillness. Land there. And let it all go. And the thing that happens is it all goes. You can have a mystical experience any moment you choose to get out of your head. There's a vibration, there's a frequency, there's an expansiveness, there's a stillness. Michael Beckwith says this. We know we like Michael around here. Let's see if I can find it in all my notes. Michael Beckwith says, as your spiritual character begins to emerge and you identify more with who and what you really are, you begin to live vibrationally in a world that most people can't see. That's what we're talking about. Most people can't see where we are starting to live. It's not a judgment, but it's an invitation. Come with us. You become an ambassador of the next stage of your energetic unfolding and the next iteration of humanity itself. But you cannot get there until you land in that point of stillness. We've taught since the beginning of Unity the power and the importance of our prayer and meditation time. We've taught for the last 20 or 30 years the power and the importance of being aware of our energetics, of our vibration, of our own frequency. We've taught for I don't know how many years, get out of your mind and into your heart. But you don't get out of your mind and inch down into your heart. I mean, you can, but that is the longest and hardest journey. But when you land in that point of stillness, it's like you come down into your lower belly, your hip space, your womb, if you have a womb, that lower part of your being, and you land in that place called home. And when you land there, it is still. And it is power. And it is presence. And from that place, you just inch your awareness up just a little bit. And you land in the lower part of your heart and you go, whoa. Wow. I had no idea my heart could feel like this. This is where we're called to be. When we talk about we need to put more awareness into our beingness, this is what we're talking about. You cannot find it until you land in stillness. You cannot get there from your head. You can get there from your feet, not by being in action, but by connecting to the ground. You can get there from your hips. You can get there from your dantian. You can get there from your spiritual heart. And when you do, everything changes. Anthony DeMello is one of my favorite mystics, and he tells a story in his book, Be Enlightened. He tells this story about a man who was alone in the desert, a traveler, lost, despaired of ever finding water. This man was going and going and going. He was dehydrated. He was starting to hallucinate. He was almost crawling. He was struggling up one hilltop and down another and up a hilltop and down another, just in hopes of sighting a stream somewhere in that desert. He kept looking in every direction with no success. And as he staggered, his foot caught on a dry bush and he stumbled to the ground. And when he hit that ground, he lay there. No energy, couldn't move, didn't even have the energy to lift himself up. He had no energy to struggle anymore, to search anymore. He had no hopes of surviving this ordeal. And he lay there. And he surrendered. Helpless and dejected, he suddenly became aware of the silence of the desert, and on all sides the majestic stillness reigned, undisturbed by the slightest sound. Suddenly, he raised his head. He had heard something. Something so faint that only the sharpest ear and the deepest silence would lead to its detection. The sound of running water. Heartened by the hope that this sound aroused in him, he rose and he kept moving until he arrived at a stream of fresh and cool water. But he would never have found that stream of fresh and cool water had he not fallen into stillness, fallen into surrender. That's an important story for us because many of us try so hard. We work so hard to get it done, to figure it out. We work and work and work and work. We think, oh, one more thing and one more thing and two more things and 16 more things. And then you get somebody who comes in, you're like, I'm all done. And they go, oh, would you? And you're like, absolutely. Right? Tammy? That would be me asking her to do one more thing. I'm going to teach her the power of no. But we try so hard. And we go, but stop it. Stop this week. Give yourself at least this week. Give yourself the time to go sit outside if it's gorgeous like it is today. Give yourself time to sit in your meditation chair longer than your I get up and I meditate because it's what I do routine, right? Give yourself permission to lay out on your bed and take a meditative nap in beingness. Give yourself permission to do something different this week, not because you go do, but because you can be. And when you do that, and when I do that, and when my consciousness buddies and I do that, we find this preciousness of life. This preciousness. Like imagine, many of you probably are grandparents or parents or aunts or uncles. Remember that preciousness of that newborn baby? It's like, oh. And all the people who post their newborn babies on Facebook. I mean, that's one of the reasons I stay on Facebook, right? To see who the newborn babies are, to see the preciousness of their face. It's the preciousness. And when you create the space in your body, mind, heart, soul, spirit, when you create the space in your consciousness, what arises is a sweetness. The preciousness. And it's as if your vision becomes HD. It's as if the colors in our new dimension of new humanity now are different. They're brighter, they're more brilliant, they're more exquisite, but there's also a quality like never before. And that's how we know there is a new consciousness. And we here at Unity Church of the Hills, and we here in Unity and New Thought, we're the ones because we already have the framework. We already know the principles. We need to get out of our head in the principles, integrate them, embody them, step into them, and become the new that we want so desperately. When you drop out of your head and open your heart, when you pop up from everything that is already known into a new dimension, into the quantum realm, into the new, what's possible, it lights up. And when it lights up in your vision, it lights up in your being. What if we really took the time in the stillness to awaken, to choose to be that presence of the Christ itself that was birthed this week, to be that presence of a new consciousness that will change this world? Would you make that commitment with me this week? Spend the week. I know that's a lot. Spend an hour. Spend a moment with the intention of finding that stillness, finding the power in the pause. Just pause everything to be still with yourself. And from that point of stillness, we consciously co-create all that we desire: beauty, love, compassion, kindness, innovation, joy. New solutions, new systems, a whole new world begins right here and right now. The power of the pause is in this now moment. And as we pause, I say, God bless you all. Amen.
This is my favorite time of the service, and my name is Tom Horn. I'm a member of the Legacy Giving Team and also a member of Celebration. I am a faithful tither, and I can say that. And a lot of good things. I owe all my prosperity in my life, spiritually and physically and financially, to this powerful tithing. It's changed my life. The act of tithing is the law of reciprocity. When you give it, it opens the doors to receive prosperity, not only financially, but spiritually. Giving in faith. Now is our opportunity to support our spiritual community and experience the power of giving with our offering. But I do have a couple of reminders that this is the last Sunday of 2020, and what a year it has been. We are in the middle of a year-end giving campaign to help eliminate our budget shortfall and let us head into 2021 on a sure footing. There are ways to give. There are a number of ways for you to give, and they are showing on your screen. Whether you are giving through our app, text to give, online, or by mail, we are grateful for your generosity and know that it will return to you tenfold. Say with me our offering affirmation. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I circulate, and I am grateful.
Today's a day of peace, and it's time when we forget about ourselves and go and help somebody else. And go and help somebody else. Everyone say, celebration, help me sing. Love's holiday. Oh, give some love away. Give touch somebody's life in a special way. Say joy, joy to the world. All the it's the time, you know it's here, the special time of year. Send some love and spread some joy and give a lot of cheer.
It doesn't cost a lot to go and make somebody's day. Love isn't love until you've gone and given it away.
Now if you know what I know and your actions show, don't hold back, don't hold out, let your feelings flow. Little smile, little gift, some encouragement can help somebody make it through a bad experience. Love's holiday. Give some love away.
Give some love.
Touch somebody's life in a special way.
Everybody say joy,
Joy to the world.
singing joy to the world.
All the boys and girls.
Oh yeah.
Touch somebody's life this holiday. Long ago, you know, the Father said he loved us so.
Gave his son the greatest love this world will ever know.
He's the reason that we celebrate this time of year. Shout it out, tell the world the love of God is here.
Now you know what you know, let your actions show.
Don't hold back, don't hold out, let your feelings flow.
A little smile, a little gift, some encouragement can help somebody make it through a bad experience.
Love's holiday.
Oh yeah.
Give some love away.
Touch somebody's life today.
Touch somebody's life in a special way.
Oh yeah. Everybody say joy,
Joy to the world.
oh yeah, yeah.
All the boys and girls.
Spread some love today.
Touch somebody's life
Oh yeah.
this holiday.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's good, that's good. Do you feel the love? Come on. Celebration. Help me sing it's love.
Love's holiday.
Give some love away. Yeah.
Give some love away.
Touch somebody's life.
Touch somebody's life
Holiday.
in a special way.
Yes. Oh, let me say joy.
Joy to the world.
Oh, the little boys and girls.
All the boys and girls.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Touch somebody's life this holiday.
Holiday. Let me hear you say love.
Love's holiday.
Holiday. Yeah.
Give some love away.
Give some love away.
Touch somebody's life in a special way.
Everybody, let me say joy.
Joy to the world.
Joy to the world, yes.
All the boys and girls.
Oh, yes, yes.
Touch somebody's life this holiday.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Say joy.
Love's holiday.
Holiday, yeah.
Give some love away.
Don't tell me what to say.
Touch somebody's life
Oh,
in a special way.
one more time, we do it. Come on, sing joy.
Joy to the world.
God so loved the world that he
All the boys and girls.
became. Sing.
Touch somebody's life this holiday.
Say.
Love's holiday.
All right. Well, just a few quick after announcements, and then we are going to go straight into our going deeper. As you see, we've already done a set change. So World Healing Day meditation is on New Year's Eve at 6 a.m. on Zoom. And then at 5:30 p.m., you're invited to join us via live stream for our New Year's Eve Burning Bowl service. Remember that the office will be closed the week between Christmas and New Year's Day. You heard it from Reverend Eliza. We are taking the week off. And then join us January 3rd for Whitestone Sunday. As I mentioned, we will be going straight into our Going Deeper. So if you have a question for Reverend Eliza, get that queued up either on Facebook or on YouTube. And Reverend Eliza, would you close us with the prayer for protection, please?
Yes, will you join us, please? The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And all is well as you take time this week for your own holy pause. God bless you.
All right, it looks like we are back. So again, if you have a question for Reverend Eliza to go deeper into her message today, just type those into the comments. I'll do my best to switch between Facebook and YouTube for you. I wanted to start with...
Oh, hello.
Hello.
So God is calling in.
Yes, right. So what do you think we as congregants can be doing? Because I feel like there's a definite pause for Unity Church of the Hills, right? Similar to what you just talked about this week, this pause as we wait for our new minister. So what can we be doing as congregants in this pause to prepare ourselves?
Perfect question.
Yay!
And I have a big answer.
Okay, great.
Get yourself ready. I mean, get yourself ready. So some of the logistical pieces is if you got a goodie bag from us for around Christmas time, we gave you a piece of paper. You can use that or any other piece of paper. Write a note to your new minister. Write it as if that person's already here. Write it about, I am so happy and grateful now that you're here because this and this and this. Write it like, I'm looking forward to this and this and this. Write it like it's already done. We have a mirror if you happen to come to the building at some point. Once we are reopen, again, we have a mirror and we invite people to stand and look in that mirror, kind of like we did at Christmas Eve with the looking at the Christ child. But look into the qualities of the new minister that you want. Meanwhile, it's like being in relationship.
Right.
So you've had a breakup, however that was, right? And a couple of them, through the variation of the last year and a half, right? So you do your inner work. We do that collectively. We do that inwardly. What did I learn? What did I experience? Where are my wounds? Where am I wounded? Where am I still stinging? Do your own healing work. Do what you need to do to get your mind and heart really super clean and ready. And it is, perfect question, about creating the space in consciousness for the next leader. Another kind of logistical piece is we clean up our house. Literally, physically, metaphysically, spiritually. We clean it up. We get ready. We're like looking forward, let me say this, not for a savior, right? But for a partner. For a partner in the next phase of the evolution of this ministry. So we clean house.
Yes.
In any way possible. And we feel like it already is done. We are so happy and grateful now that we have our next leader.
Yes. Live in that vibration.
Live in that. In Prosperity Plus, I invite everybody to join us in that because we are going to be visioning. It is a tithing course, so there is that, which is powerful as an experiment, and it's a vision-based. So we're going to be receiving our own, what do we want our lives to look like in 3 years? In 4 areas. The 4 areas are health, vocation, relationship, and time and money freedom. But we added this first week. Actually, the end of the week added is the first week.
Gotcha, right.
Because we're going to envision what we want Unity Church of the Hills to look like, feel like in 3 years. And it's about the vibrational alignment. That's the art and science. This one is about the art and science.
I love that.
So the art is designing the vision. The science is coming into vibrational alignment with that. So we're going to be spending time each week on that collective vision, which is different than the visioning we did with Michael Beckwith,
Right,
and different with the
totally.
visioning that the board is doing. But it's a collective consciousness that is in preparation. We're preparing the soil. The seeds have been planted, not sown yet, but planted.
But planted, yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, great question.
All right, yay. So there's one question here. It's joking, but I'm going to read it anyways because my wife cracks me up. So Joni wants to know, Reverend Eliza, does Tammy have to say no to everyone? Anyways, I just thought that was too funny not to read it.
Not to you, Joni. Everyone else. When it's appropriate.
Yeah.
And appropriately. Yeah, that's funny.
And then Carrie, I think it's good for you to remind everyone, just to remind all of y'all, because you had somebody ask you if you were rent to own,
Oh, yeah.
which was hilarious.
I
So we've
was
got
asked,
a
yeah, if I'm
comment
rent
from
to
someone
own.
wanting to know if you're going to be our next minister.
No.
I think it's good to remind people, as grateful as we are that you are here.
Yes. I am here for a very specific purpose and a very specific, although flexible, amount of time. I am here to help you create the space for your next leader. You have 3 different search teams who are already open to receive resumes and applications. The process is moving. So there's the candidating team, there's the prayer team, there's the consciousness team, and the marketing team, I think, and they're all working in concert behind the scenes. It's a very sacred process. Resumes have been received. There has been a little bit of phone interviews, but all of that is completely confidential because those teams have been charged with bringing 1 or 2 or maybe 3 candidates they think would be perfect matches. Once they've identified those 1 or 2 or 3, then we will let everybody know, and there'll be some probably Zoom on-site kind of thing, so you'll get to know. And we want input from the congregation. It is a board decision, but all of that is happening behind the scenes. So that's a great question. Yeah. And no, I'm not rent to own.
As much as we would like you to be. All right, so I have another sort of question. We'll see if a question emerges from this, but I just started reading your book, Falling into Ease, which I felt like sort of tied in really beautifully with what you were talking about today. And the reason I'm reading it, just as a little sneak peek for everybody, is we are going to be doing that for our Spirit Circle curriculum, which will start at the end of January or beginning of February, and you'll learn more about that. But I kind of want to know, like, what was the impetus for that book, and if there's a tie-in to your message today. I saw one, but maybe there's something there to speak about.
So I always knew I had a book in me, and way back early in my ministerial career, I went to seminary in 98, and somewhere around 98, 99, I heard the question, would it be all right with you if life got easier? Mm-hmm. And it was, it activated in me sort of a place of beingness. So I've sort of always had that with me. And then a few years ago, I think that book came out. I can't remember when that book came out. But at any rate, I had gone through a period of things, and I'd fallen into a book writing retreat with Tom Bird. We've talked about Tom Bird before. We need to bring Tom Bird here, at least virtually. Tom Bird does Write Your Book in a Weekend.
Oh, yes.
And it's a very powerful process of accessing that which is already within you and just letting it be released. So there's no mental process in it. Now, I wrote a book in a weekend, and it wasn't that book.
Okay.
But it was shortly after that, a few months after that, that I connected with 2 or 3 other people who had also done the process. So we wrote every morning for an hour and a half.
Oh, nice.
On text. We said, okay, we were not on Facebook, we were not on Zoom, that was too distracting, but we would text, okay, butt in chair, hands on keyboard, BitChalk.
Yeah, right.
And that book, it came. It's in part a little bit of my story. It's in part a little bit of, really self-help, so to speak. But it's basic principles about releasing your struggle and creating a life you love. And would it be all right with you Tammy,
Yes.
if life got easier today.
Yes, yes, and yes.
And by the way, the book is in the bookstore, but it's also on our bookshop.
Right, bookshop.org.
And we want you to go to bookshop.org because Unity Church of the Hills has a much better return rate than, say, Amazon,
Right.
right?
Absolutely.
So go to bookshop.org, and however you do that, somebody I'm sure will put the link in now.
I think Jennifer already has because she's so on it. Thank you, Jennifer.
That's awesome.
I know. Well, so in that book, you refer to yourself, I love this title, Vibrational Catalyst. Tell me more about what that means, like how you embody that and how you show up.
Another great question.
Thank you.
So we can talk our talk and we can walk our walk. But until we align our talk and our walk with our vibration, nothing changes.
Right.
As soon as we align with the vibration, it's like it is a catalyst because it's like the fuel behind. And we're going to talk about that next week a little bit with the white stone and then beyond. But it is the fuel. That alignment is the fuel that catapults. And I started using that phrase when I was in some business training, and I had to put some words on the work that I do, the spiritual work that I do, which I call facilitation, not coaching or counseling or anything like that. But it is like bringing your vibration into alignment to that which you desire and being a catalyst, like putting the fuel behind the catalytic.
Like a pilot light that you just
Like the
turn
pilot
up.
light.
Yeah.
Like catalytic converter came to mind.
Right.
I don't know what that means, but I looked at my husband, so I'm sure I'll find out. But it's boom, and it's fast. So I started using that when I sort of downloaded the process for quickly, gently, easily dismantling, dissolving lifelong limiting patterns like that for all time. That came out of the work I was doing, a few years back, 10 years back now, but yeah, so it's very catalytic.
Yay. All right. Well, it's, the Sunday after Christmas. I say let's just
Take a holy pause.
Let's take a holy pause. Is there anything left you'd like to share with everybody?
I just want to reiterate the importance of it and the power of it. I know we're busy people, but we're not human doings, right? Until we really land, and that's really what we're moving into, is a new way of being. And like I said in the talk, we get to choose it. Because if we just sit back and wait for the universe to unfold, well, we have a joke. Rosemary Fillmore Ray, who was the granddaughter of Charles and Myrtle, was really good friends of ours. In fact, she performed our wedding, and she used to talk about divine order.
Yeah.
Here's what she say: there isn't any, it doesn't work, never happened, it doesn't happen. It's like it's not. Like But really out of that is like we are co-creators.
Right.
We spent a period of time where we would sit back and let the universe move through us, which is super powerful. But now the next generation of our spirituality is active co-creating.
Right.
We get to be, if we're looking for love and kindness and compassion, we get to be it first.
Amen.
And activate it and be the catalyst for it.
Yeah.
And then we begin to see it.
Awesome.
I don't know if that quite answered your question, but that feels like a good place to quit talking.
Yeah, absolutely. We love you guys. We hope you have an absolutely magnificent week. Come back Thursday, 5:30 p.m. for our Burning Bowl service.
It's all virtual. Have your release, get yourself a candle, little tiny pieces of paper. If you got our goodie bag, you've got flash paper already.
Yep. Love you.
All right, bye everyone.
Bye.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's announcements.
Have you ever wanted to attend the World Healing Day meditation on New Year's Eve, but 6 a.m. is just too early? Well, you're in luck because this year the meditation will take place via Zoom. So grab your phone, tablet, or laptop and virtually join us at 6 a.m. Austin time on Thursday, December 31st for the World Healing Day meditation. This year's New Year's Eve Burning Bowl service stays in the theme of the Holy Pause. Join Reverend Eliza and Susan Heinrichs at 5:30 p.m. online on New Year's Eve for a 30-minute service filled with the power of simplicity, ritual, ceremony, and release. Originally, we had planned to host a drive-through fire pit afterward, but in our return to 100% virtual service, we are pausing on this piece. Stay tuned for details of possible rescheduling that we will bring to you in the new year.
Happy almost New Year, everyone. We're so grateful for all of you and the incredible UCOH community we continue to grow and embrace each and every day. We have traveled a most interesting path this last year, and though we know all of this is part of the journey, we don't deny that this has been a challenging time. Please know how much we love you and how much we look forward to what 2021 has in store for all of us.
Artist and UCO congregant Sharabella Feeney has created 2 extraordinary sets of angel wings for adults and for kids on the pavilion wall of Unity Oaks. They are beautiful and they are also perfect photo ops. So as a kickoff to honor this amazing installation, we will be holding a campaign through the month of January. We invite you to visit the wings, take a picture of you and those with you, and post them to social media using a hashtag that is coming soon. Everyone who posts on social media using this yet to be decided hashtag will be entered into a drawing at the end of January, and we will draw for a prize. Stay tuned for more details, including the name of the hashtag and the prize or prizes. Thank you so much, Sharabella.
Miracles represent freedom from fear. Atoning means undoing. The undoing of fear is an essential part of the atonement value of miracles. If that statement caught your attention without my having to reread it, then you are probably being nudged towards an in-depth 18-week study of A Course in Miracles led by longtime course student and practitioner Jennifer Feiereisel. The Way of A Course in Miracles 2, Undoing of Fear, begins on either Thursday, January 14th at 7:30 or Friday, January 15th at 10:30 in the morning. The workshop is offered on a love offering basis and takes place on Zoom. Learn more and register today at unityhills.org.
We all know that in order to get new results, we need to take new inspired action. There's no better time than right now to create a breakthrough, which is why we are so excited about the 8-week experiment we'll be embarking on beginning January 18th. The experiment is called Prosperity Plus 3, Living Full Spectrum Wealth. It's taught virtually via Zoom by our own interim minister, Reverend Eliza Bloom Robinson, using materials and videos from globally renowned spiritual teacher Mary Morrissey. Registration is now open, so learn more and register at unityhills.org.
Affirmative meditative prayer is at the heart of the Unity spiritual path. The Unity way of prayer is ultimately aimed at experience of the divine and realization of the practitioner's divine potential. Join licensed Unity teacher Anita Farrell and LUT candidate Sandra Vella for a 5-week study of Unity prayer beginning January 30th from 10 a.m. to noon via Zoom. This class can be taken for credit towards becoming a licensed Unity teacher. Register today at unityhills.org.
While all virtual events will be held as scheduled unless noted on the calendar, the Unity Church of the Hills offices and the bookstore will be closed December 28th through January 1st, resuming normal operating hours on January the 5th.
That's it for the announcements. May you truly find a holy pause, or few, within the days and weeks ahead. Until next week, hashtag peace, blessings, love, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everybody.